Hi, it's Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and I decided to bring back an old show I recorded when I was doing No BS Job Search Advice Radio and also recording it on video. You'll notice that it's old because I'm wearing a different cap that says Headhunter on it. So this is going back quite a ways. But the advice is still good, and I decided to edit out the introductory stuff and the exiting stuff, the outro stuff, just to give you the core of the show. So hang in there. It'll be on in just one moment. When all is said and done, this show is going to be talking with you about looking at your fear of the phone when job hunting. Because as much as we'd like this to be, you send out a resume, someone calls you up and says, good news, can you start on Monday? It doesn't work that way. And a lot of you are spending too much time buried in email and buried online looking at job listings online, and you're not doing enough work to network. Networking, statistically, is the way that more than 60% of job hunters find work. And to ignore that statistic is to doom you to a longer search than is really necessary. And I understand that some of you are afraid to use the phone and to call people out of the blue and say hi and try and persuade them to meet with you. So here's a couple of ways that you can work toward improving your phone game and overcoming some of your maybe phobias. I'm not going to be clinical here. I'm just going to look at some of the ways that you can overcome them. And the first way is by writing a script out for yourself and rehearsing it in such a way that it doesn't sound contrived and it doesn't sound as though you're just reading off a piece of paper. Now that latter part is hard because I have this experience with my new podcast show, Job Search Radio, where I was reading for a while. And my coach was telling me, stop reading. I said, how did you know I was reading? And he goes, just something in your manner that lets me know that you're reading. So you have to practice it so it's second nature. And frankly, the exact words are less important as the energy that you try to communicate when you speak. So basically, you develop a script for your call. It's really an outline of a couple of points that you want to cover and rehearse it from time to time and out loud. It's not enough to just think the words. You have to practice saying them in a way so that you can hear them and you can discover ways that you're tripping yourself up. So the first thing to do is to rehearse what you say. Now, the second thing I want to encourage you to do is to stand up when you're talking to people, not just sit at your desk. Now, for the purposes of doing this video, I'm chained to my desk so I can be in front of a camera. But when I do my other show, Job Search Radio, which is on webtalkradio.net, what I do is I pace my office, and I'm talking to someone, and next to nothing is scripted on this show. My guest and I will speak in advance about what we're going to chat about, but it's, to me, just really a discussion of the subject, so that this way we're on the same page about what we're going to talk about. From that point on, my intro to this individual has a couple of talking points I want to cover because he's a guest, and I want to make sure that I introduce him properly. And my closing isn't scripted. Everything else, other than the intro, is completely spontaneous. So I'll just simply say you can do much the same thing to give yourself an outline of what you want to cover. Next thing I'm going to encourage you to do, other than standing up. Did I say standing up? Stand up, because you're just going to have that much more energy for yourself, as you speak with someone. Next thing is really learning to speak with a smile on your face, because energetically, people enjoy you that much more when you're smiling than when you're not. And so much of why people get hired has nothing to do with the content of what they're saying, but the energy that they convey to someone. So it's always best to be smiling as you speak with someone.
they just pick up on your joy for what you're doing, and it just helps them like you that much more. Next thing is construct a list of questions that you're not comfortable with asking. Call it your most feared questions or the stumpers for you, and have some notes out for yourself about it. Once you're only speaking on the phone, no one can see that you have this cheat sheet in front of you with how to answer some of the stumpers. You can have this stuff sprawled out in front of you so that in this way people aren't hearing rumbling different papers. You catch the rumbling thing that I'm doing there? When all is said and done, you can have notes out, you can have your resume out to refer to. As they're asking you questions, you can take notes down about the question to make sure you stay on point. There's different tricks that you can use in order to be comfortable as you're speaking with someone. Always do practice calls. Talk to someone that you know, have them ask a lot of the questions that you know are going to be asked in an interview to make sure that, and the ideal person that you do a practice call with is someone who's in your field, who understands what you do, so that they can pick up on the nuances of some of the specific questions about your work and make sure that you sound like a pro when you're answering questions. Another thing to do is call the admin or the gatekeeper or the administrative assistant for the floor or the receptionist. Try to call that person, find out their name, and then as you call them, ask them for advice. Being able to reference them by name, just is far more polite. And just try and ask them when the person you're trying to reach might be available. You might also, if they give you the idea that they're not going to put you through, find out who a better person might be to reach. I know as a recruiter, gatekeepers, receptionists, secretaries, admins are always great allies for me because they really know, and I'm not here to make them uncomfortable. I'm not here to push them. I'm not going to yell at them. I'm not going to insult them, and you shouldn't either, right? They're there to do their job just like you want to do your job. And they can often tell you what time you can reach someone based upon knowing their calendar. So you're always trying to find a great time to call back. Now, if you get voicemail, you might, some people don't believe in leaving voicemail. You're never going to get a call back if you don't leave a voicemail. So to me, you always want to have your message for voicemail scripted out so that this way you're able to speak to someone and not sound, again, if you're nervous or uncomfortable, put yourself in the position of the recipient. Ask them, tell them that you're looking for advice and would appreciate a call back. So, by being prepared for the voicemail should it come, to be prepared for a human being should he or she answer the phone, you wind up putting yourself in the position where you're less fearful. Also, you don't want to drone on and on and on with long answers or lengthy statements to people because they're not going to listen or hear. They're just going to be bored and tune you out. Keep your introductions or your comments to 15 to 35, maybe 40 seconds in length in total, so that in this way they're able to stay on point with you and feel comfortable and not tune out and start thinking about other things. With voicemail, another thing that you can do is on many voicemail systems, you can press 0 for the operator and be connected to a human being and ask questions about whether they know when you might be able to connect with the person that you want to speak with. So all of this involves a certain amount of preparation and rehearsal in order to be able to perform well for the call. And through that preparation and rehearsal and the repetition that comes from doing that, what I find is that most people are going to perform far better than if they let their fears overcome them. I don't believe in avoiding situations. I believe you go right at them. That there are tricks that you can develop, and through practice, things will become second nature for you.
So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful, and if you did, here are a couple of ways I can help you even more. First of all, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. Mention that you listen to or watch the show. I like knowing I'm helping some people. Also, join me at JobSearch.Community. Now, whether you become an insider or not, there's a lot of stuff on the homepage to help you. Books, guides, video courses, videos, some good stuff to help you. And if you become an insider, you get access to all my video courses, books, and guides, and you can ask me questions, and I log in daily to respond to everyone. If you become an Insider Plus member, all the same stuff I've mentioned to you before, plus you can get me on a Zoom call to answer your questions more immediately. And if you're interested in one-on-one or group coaching, become an Insider Premium member. There's a lot there that we'll work on to help you land your next job. And you get all the other content as well. Hope you have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great.